Thieves struck the same property twice in just one day, first breaking through the gate, then returning later to steal a trailer. I'm Kayla Hamlet reporting in Abilene, and I spoke with the victim as he describes when he first discovered the crime. For Michael Hull, a businessman and family man, what happened to him Wednesday was more than just theft, it was personal.
It's not about the loss of a piece of property for me. What it's about is if they're doing it to me, they're going to do it to other people. And if they stole, what would hurt me more is if they stole some property that I used for my job, right? And I wasn't able to provide for my family. That's not the case here, but it just makes you like, the thought of that being gone isn't what's bothering me. What bothers me the most is the sense of violation that someone broke into my property.
Video footage from Hull's property reveals the bold actions of the alleged thieves as they carry out the crime in broad daylight.
So what happened was my phone dinged from our security system that someone was on the premises of the property. And so as I was looking at the video live, I noticed what was going on is that a vehicle had pulled in, backed up to my trailer, and was hooking onto it. And obviously I didn't know who they were.
But what's even more alarming is that this wasn't the alleged thieves' first visit on the property.
So what we did is we went back on the cameras to see kind of what was going on, and we noticed that the gate had been broken or gotten into. And kind of the first part of that story is my wife went out there that morning to get something from the property and noticed that the gate was open.
It was at 3:13 a.m. that the alleged burglars broke through the gate, only to return later in the afternoon to steal the trailer. Hull describes exactly what was taken.
It's a 2020 year model, 20-foot enclosed cargo trailer. So it's just a big white, long, tall trailer that we use to carry things in.
Instead of being angry, Hull chose compassion. When I asked him what he would say to the alleged thieves, he shared this message.
And I just tell them that, they really need to dig deep in their soul as to what they're doing. And they're affecting people's livelihoods and they're putting people uneasy. But more importantly, this is not what God wants you to do. And you need to be right with God before you can be right with anybody. And, that's what my message to whomever's doing any type of life of crime.
If you have any possible leads or if you've seen the trailer, you're urged to contact the Taylor County Sheriff's Department.
The Abilene Police Department put a post out to Facebook saying that 50 cars have been stolen just this past summer and about 100 have been broken into. I'm Brenna Gibbons, and you can prevent this from happening with one simple step: locking your car.
Crime's on the escalation and we got to stop it.
Of the 50 cars that APD says was stolen, in each case these cars were left unlocked with the keys inside.
My keys are in my pocket. I have a clicker, I can lock my door. Same with my wife, she drives a little Suburban.
APD says that they have been seeing trends. Criminals breaking in typically will steal tools, electronics, documents, and firearms from a vehicle.
I try not to leave anything on the dash that would entice somebody to break in or, do anything wrong.
Criminals are typically looking for a crime of opportunity. So if your doors are locked, then they'll usually just move on to the next car that's unlocked.
I basically just lock it. It's just a quick touch, and I peek in and make sure the light's flashing and that it's, armed.
The Abilene police say that many cars that are stolen are used to commit more crimes. One resident we spoke with says on top of locking her car, she also takes a few more steps to ensure the safety of her vehicle.
Just park in a lighted parking lot and close to other people.
APD has some quick reminders to help keep your vehicle safe. They say to lock your car, even at home. Never leave your keys inside the vehicle, not even a spare. And firearms should never be left in your car overnight.
I think it's the sign of the times, We have locks, we have alarms, all that stuff, so it only takes a couple of seconds to activate it, so go ahead and do it.
APD is asking that you lock your car to help prevent future thefts.
In Eastland, I'm Caitlin Leggett, investigating an incident of fraud that almost left one former resident out of land that had been in her family for generations.
She originally wanted to sell like the easement property. And then he did a records check and he said, well, you've got 172 acres in the back. Do you want to put that up for sale also? And I don't know if she didn't know or what, but she said, oh, yeah, I think I do.
Julia Watson is a former resident of Eastland, and her family has owned land there since the 1950s. Now, as a retired school teacher, she had no plans on selling the land that held so much sentiment.
And I can remember as a young girl going up here to check the heifers to see if they were ready to calve. So, I mean, this land has been, really important to my family for a long time.
To Watson's surprise, in early September, she was alerted of a for sale sign up on the property and went to investigate. That's when she learned someone used her name to list the land for $1.3 million through Joe Godinho, a Brownwood realtor sales associate under Seltzer Associates Realty. Spoke with the realtor who said the person listing gave all the necessary information via email, which is why he listed the property. As soon as he was alerted of the fraud, he took the property down and reported it to the authorities at the request of Watson. According to him, the sale would not have made it past the title company, who checks for Social Security and additional information. Both Watson and the realtor have since reported the fraud to the police, and we have not yet received an update from the Eastland Police Department. As for Watson,
and I just want other people to understand, this piece of land is not prime. It really isn't. It has an easement. It's not front property to the county road, and I never thought something like that would happen to me. So if it happened to me, it will happen to other people. And they just need to be vigilant.
For more information on Eastland's resources for protecting yourself against fraud and scammers, visit our website at ktxs.com.
Good evening and welcome to a special edition of KTXS News. I'm Kayla Hamlet. At a gas station register, what looked like a normal keypad was actually a skimmer. I'm Kayla Hamlet reporting in Abilene. And APD tells us that workers shut it down quickly and called for help. They're designed to blend in, but skimming devices can steal your card information in seconds. The Abilene Police Department is investigating a fraud case after a skimming device was found at an Allsups on the 2300 block of Barrow Street Sunday. APD says the device was attached to the register keypad, and when a worker noticed, they shut down the use of the register, removed the device, and called APD to report possible fraudulent activity. You have probably heard about card skimming at the ATM or gas pump, but now they are appearing at the checkout register. So what is skimming? According to the FBI, skimming occurs when devices illegally installed on or inside ATMs, POS terminals, or fuel pumps capture card data and record cardholders' PIN entries. Criminals use the data to create fake payment cards and then make unauthorized purchases or simply steal from victims' accounts. Here are a few tips on how you can protect yourself from being a victim of card skimming. To protect your card information, experts recommend using tap to pay instead of swiping and checking keypads for any unusual features. When possible, avoid entering your PIN by opting for contactless or chip transactions. The device at the Allsups was seized and a fraud incident report was taken by APD. The case has now been turned over to APD's fraud unit for further investigation. The Abilene Police Department is warning residents after more card skimmers have been found since we brought this story to you earlier this week. I'm Kayla Hamlet reporting, and the Abilene Police Fraud Department says they're working hard to prevent residents' personal information from being compromised.
So recently, within the last week or so, we've had a significant spike in skimmer devices that have been located at points of sale. And the exact number is unknown, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 or more just in this area.
Experts say these devices are designed to be nearly impossible to spot.
It's very difficult. The devices that are created by these criminals are sophisticated and they're made to look very professional. So it is difficult to determine if the terminal that you're using has been compromised.
While card skimmers are often hard to detect, Sergeant Atkins says one possible red flag is how the terminal looks.
If you notice one that looks brand spanking new and no dirt on it, no use over the course of several months, that'll give you an idea that this thing has been replaced.
Sergeant Atkins says using this simple tip at the gas pump or checkout counter could help protect your personal information from being stolen.
The most vulnerable ways are going to be to insert it into the chip reader or to use the credit card swiper, whereas the least vulnerable is going to be the contactless.
While the investigation is still ongoing by APD's fraud unit, it's recommended that anyone who believes their information may have been exposed is urged to take action. That includes keeping a close eye on bank and credit card statements from any suspicious activity.
Keep an eye on your credit card statements, on your bank statements, and we really encourage folks to sign up for app notifications and text message alerts that come from those financial institutions so that they are made aware of those payments, those charges as they occur.
The APD's fraud unit wants the community to know they're doing everything they can to end this kind of criminal activity in Abilene.
So we're currently investigating these cases, and we're digging deep into them just to try and find those who are responsible for placing the devices and bring them to justice.
APD's fraud unit says whether you're a merchant or a local resident, if you spot a card skimmer, you're urged to contact them immediately.